Hey everybody, this is Drew Dale here from Consummate Marketers. Hope you enjoyed the previous two videos. Today we have a really good video for you. It is on pre-selling. It's step number 3 in our system of how to double your luxury home sales. Please pay close attention to this one because this has been the reason or the underlying foundation for a lot of the success that we've had in our business, and we're showing this to you with the hopes that you can emulate it and implement it in your business and achieve the same level of success, if not even greater. So without further ado, let us just get into today's content, today's video. As the title said here, it's step 3 or pre-selling system. Now, what is our pre-selling system? Well, a pre-selling is simply the act of educating, qualifying, and sorting all your leads and your potential clients. The purpose of your pre-selling system is simply to outline all the specific actions that your prospect needs to take prior to becoming a client and closing the deal. Okay, so everything that is needed from the time your prospect signs up and gives you their name and email to the point where you close the deal, that's all part of your pre-selling process. Okay, so there are two types of pre-selling. There is the direct pre-selling. Now this is actually works really well for your buyers. And then there is the indirect pre-selling. Now this is a newer way, a newer approach to doing your pre-selling, and this works tremendous for sellers. It also works great for buyers. So we're going to show you both ways, and you can decide which way you want to choose. You can use direct pre-selling with sellers as well, but we'll show you that indirect pre-selling actually works a lot better, especially in the higher end luxury area. So let's just get started with direct pre-selling. Now, direct pre-selling, as the name suggests, is simply a direct approach to converting your leads into customers. And now, one of the reasons why it works so well, especially with buyers, is because it walks buyers through the entire process. And as a buyer, it is a lot easier to go through that process as opposed to being a seller. Seller needs a little bit more service, a little bit more hands-on. So buyers tend to do well with this process. So there are 4 parts in the direct pre-selling system. First part is the additional data collection. Second part is your lead sort and prioritization. Your third part is lead pre-qualification, and then the fourth part is offer presentation. Now, just to pause here for a minute, this is assuming that you have gone through the first steps. You've gone through your step of identifying your ideal prospect, and then it assumes that you have already created your landing page, your lead capture page, you have your incentive all set up. And so once a person goes through your landing page, they've left their name and their email, now they get to this section, which is a page after that landing page, and that's where your pre-selling process starts. So again, you collect additional data, you sort the leads, you qualify the leads, and then you present an offer to them, or your offer to work with them. Okay, so your additional data section, this is where you're going to collect all the additional necessary information or relevant information from your prospect. Now, you'll notice that on many websites, on many realtors websites, what they'll do is they'll have a form, and then they'll ask the prospect to fill out the form, and they'll have all the information right there on that form. The reason why we don't recommend doing this is because the longer the form is the less likely someone is going to fill out all the fields. So we recommend using a 2-step approach. The first step, you just collect their name and email. The second step is where you collect all the relevant information. Once you do this, if someone doesn't have the time to fill out all the information, you can always follow up with them and remind them to do that. So you're going to be collecting things such as phone numbers, address, property details, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, stuff like that. Your moving time frame and funding source. These last two we definitely recommend collecting that information, moving time frame and funding source, because we're going to be using that a little later on when we're qualifying our prospects. Again, forms that are too long tend to have lower completion rates, so you want to make sure that you're just collecting the relevant necessary details. Okay, so once you've collected all those details, the next step is to sort and prioritize your leads. Now this is going to happen using the additional data that you just collected. Now there is a manual process to doing this, which is you look at your forms and you literally sort and prioritize the leads based on whatever criteria you select. There is also an automated process that you can use. This is the method that we have used. This is the method that has had tremendous success for us. So naturally, this is a method that we recommend you use. Now, how this works is that when someone fills out your form, your additional data form, with their name, address, telephone number, email, and so on and so forth, some of the fields that you're going to collect is moving time frame and funding source. The moving time frame is very important because you can then use that to help prioritize your leads. So if someone wanted to move, let's say within the next 90 days, they would obviously fall into a different priority than someone who's looking to move in 1 year. So the next step is the funding source. You know, clearly we all like cash buyers. So if someone is a cash buyer, then clearly they would fall into a different priority than someone who needed to secure a loan from a bank or an institution. Again, these are just things that you can use to sort and prioritize. We're actually going to use this data further down the line in our process, so it's important we collect all that information up front right now. You can use things like Infusionsoft is a really great software that you can use. You can do it in a more rudimentary way using things like Aweber, GetResponse, stuff like that. Alright, so once we have collected that additional information, we have sorted and prioritized our leads, the next thing we need to do is to do a qualification. Now here's where you determine if your lead is going to make a good client. So it's simply asking, does your buyer have enough cash to buy the home that they desire? Or is your buyer pre-approved for a loan, or can they get access to a loan? Now, one of the things that we do in our qualification stage is once we have asked the buyers, okay, what is your funding source? If someone says that their funding source is a bank loan, then one of the questions that we probably would have asked is, okay, what is your down payment? So we would then be able to direct that lead to our preferred lender. If we have a partner lender, a preferred lender that we recommend, then we could direct that lead to that preferred lender to help them get pre-qualified. So, you know, we're walking them through the entire process of purchasing the home, but we're doing it online and we're doing it in a step-by-step process. Remember what we said in the previous video when we talked about having a one-way street? This is what we're talking about. We want to go step by step by step and literally walk them through the entire process of getting a home, you know, buying a home. So once we have qualified our prospects, once we know we have someone who we can work with, who is qualified to buy the home, then we go ahead and present our offer to work with them. So you can do this either manually or you can do it in an automated fashion. Now, manually is a traditional way. You sit down with the person, and then at that point in time, you would sign that buyer's representative agreement, exclusive buyer agreement. Another way that you could do it is you could actually have that step automated. So you could, after someone goes through and gives the additional information, and you'd carry them to another page that walks them through getting pre-qualified if they needed a loan. Once they've gone through that page, you could then direct them to a third page which simply has your exclusive buyer agreement on it. So you have them available to download or fill out that form, and either mail or fax back to you. So what would happen is, before you ever even speak to anyone, they would, or you would already have all the information in terms of what they desired in a property, all the property details. You'd have prioritized them in terms of their funding source and when they wanted to buy, and they would already have a pre-qualification letter or a pre-approval or a proof of funds letter, and they would also already have your paperwork in terms of your exclusive buyer agreement. So as you can see, this step-by-step process, automated step-by-step process, helps to cut down on the amount of time that you have to actually spend doing all this legwork manually, and it doesn't take anything away from your buyers, because as you will see, many buyers are more than willing to fill out this information, and this aspect of it doesn't actually need to have that personal touch. The personal touch will come in after this point in terms of luxury homes and luxury home selling. So this is not taking away anything from that process, but it's just being a lot more efficient and giving you a lot more time. So this is the direct method of pre-selling. Again, it works extremely well with buyers, and we've had tremendous success with that. This second portion deals with the indirect pre-selling process, and this is a fabulous method of getting listings. Many people right now or many realtors right now are having some difficulties in securing your listings. They feel as if they can get buyers, but they just can't get listings. Now, if that's the case with your market, then pay close attention, because this is a method that pretty much no one is using, but has had tremendous success. Okay, so let's talk about the old way. Now, in the old way, people are using what's called a convincing method. Now, a convincing method is where you go to a seller, you give them your credentials, you tell them how fabulous you are, how great you are, how you can get the best price possible. I mean, you try to convince them. Problem with this method is it screams salesman, and it doesn't get as good results, because again, you're trying to convince them to pay attention to you instead of compelling them to ask you for help. Okay, so with the new way, we're using compelling marketing. And in compelling marketing, you're going to give them the most obvious thing that they need, and then continue to help them until they request your services. Okay, there is an actual framework around getting this or accomplishing this, so don't worry, I'm going to break it down step by step and show you exactly how to accomplish this. Okay, so here's an example of the compelling method. If someone were considering selling their home, okay, what would be the first and most obvious question on that person's mind? Well, the obvious question is, I wonder how much I can sell my house for. It's not going to be, who should I call as a realtor? What are the realtor's fees? It's not going to be anything, any of those questions. The first and most compelling question that's on someone's mind when they're considering selling is, wonder how much I can sell my house for. Is this the right time to sell? So stuff like that. That's what's going to be a compelling question. So therefore, an offer to generate leads would be to give a report showing Malibu sales prices for 2013, for example. Obviously, if you're not in Malibu, then you want to make it applicable to wherever your geographic location is. But as you can see, say if I'm looking online, if I'm doing a search online and I'm considering selling my home that's in Malibu, and I see a report that says, here are the Malibu home sales prices for 2013, I'm probably going to click on that ad because it's compelling. Okay, so here's why it's better. First off, there's no evidence of commercial intent. Second, it attracts those people who are interested in what you have to offer. So when you're advertising, you won't get a lot of tire kickers, you won't get a lot of looky-loos, as they call them. You'll get people who are actually interested in what you have to offer. Third thing is actually helps them. So we're going to be creating a report, which, as we said in the previous video, we kind of walked through the framework of actually how to do this. But in a nutshell, we're going to be creating a report that actually helps the person. So it actually goes through, here are the prices for homes that sold in Malibu, here are the square footage, here are the realtors that sold them, here's how long they're on the market, stuff like that. So it's actually helpful information. And finally, the fourth reason why it's better is it sets you up for the next steps. Okay, so again, in the previous video we talked about setting up your landing page and creating your incentive offer. Now, immediately after they opt in, immediately after they leave their name and email and opt in to receive your report, you're going to obviously thank them for opting in. You're going to tell them what to do, and then you're going to offer to help them. Now, this is a method of collecting that low-hanging fruit. Now, here's what I mean when I talk about offer to help them. Before talking to anyone, they should know who you are, know what you do, know your requirements for working with them, know your fees, be a perfect candidate, and actually want your help. Now, as a realtor, you don't want to waste your time talking to everyone, especially if you can't help them. Okay, so in this method, we're going to show you a systematized way of making sure that you're talking to people who you can actually help and who actually want your help. Okay, so let me break this down step by step so you can follow this. There are 7 steps to the indirect pre-sale. Okay, so the first step is you're going to offer to help for free. It's important that you offer the help for free. Just bear with me for now. You'll see why a little bit later. The next step is you're going to explain the benefits of your help. After that, you're going to explain why you're offering to help them for free. So after you offer to help for free and you explain the benefits of the help, naturally people are going to be thinking, oh, that's wonderful, but why is this person offering to help me for free? So just go ahead and be transparent and upfront and tell them why you're going to offer to help them for free. After that, you want to eliminate the sales fear. Now, this step right here is creating irresistibility and intrigue. This is where you're really going to hook them. You're really going to get them, interested. You're going to really get them you're going to compel them to want to work with you. Next, you have your takeaway. Now, this is going to be using a powerful psychological trigger that, again, I'm going to be explaining and giving examples for each of these steps, but just the takeaway, and once you've done the takeaway, now you qualify. So let me go through bit by bit and show you how each of these steps work. So you're offering to help for free. So an example would be something like, the person comes onto your website, you've already thanked them for signing in to your list to receive your report. You could say something like, would you like for me to show you how to get the most money for your house? That's an offer to help. Most people who see that, especially if they're selling their home, they'll say, sure, I'd like for you to show me how to get the most money for my house. Next, you want to explain the benefits. So again, you could say something like, I'm happy to help you design a custom marketing plan for your home, identify your perfect target market of prospective buyers, and show you how to present the home to them for maximum price possible. Again, these are all benefits. Design a custom marketing plan, benefit. Identify perfect target market, benefit. Show how to present your home for the maximum price, again, benefit. So these are all benefits. And you go through, you can continue to say, this way you'll be able to sell your house quickly and get the highest price you can without wasting time or money. Again, benefits, benefits, benefits. There's no cost for this, and there's no obligation of any kind. Even more benefits. Now, once we have gone through and we've explained all the benefits of the free service that we're offering, people are going to be wondering, okay, why are you offering to help me for free? What's the catch? So again, an example, you could say something like, I offer this service for free because I'm a realtor and I sell Malibu oceanfront homes. Again, in this case, you would substitute wherever your geographic location is. And there's a possibility that I have a buyer who might be interested in your house, especially considering the recent demand for properties like yours. So, if you find value in the help I give you, you might want me to sell your home for you. Now, this just comes up outright and just says exactly why you're offering the help for free. Again, offering the help for free because there's a good possibility I might have a buyer interest in your home, and of course because you're a realtor, and if you find value in the help that you give you, then you may want them to sell the home for you. So these are just being upfront as to why you're offering this service or your help for free. Now, once you've told them that you're a realtor, immediately, red flags are going to be going up in terms of they're going to be thinking, oh, salesman, home, just another salesman, just another realtor. They're trying to get a commission. They're trying to sell my home. Defense. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be eliminating their sales fear. Okay? We do this by saying something like, with that said, please understand that I'm not offering you a sales pitch in disguise. I promise not to pressure you or pester you in any way at all. In fact, if you feel I've wasted even 1 second of your time, now this final part here is really important, but let me just go through, sentence by sentence. So, right here we're saying, with that said, please understand that we're not offering you a sales pitch in disguise. We promise not to pressure or pester them in any way. Now we're setting up the next section, which is the irresistibility and intrigue. So we do that by saying, in fact, if you feel I've wasted even 1 second of your time, let me know and I'll. Now this is where you insert some type of bribe or some type of incentive. So you could say, I'll immediately write you a check for, X amount of dollars, or send a brochure. I'll immediately send a brochure about your home to 1,000 potential buyers, or I'll pay your realtor's marketing costs. You can pretty much offer whatever you want here. So I know you're thinking right now, but I don't want to be sending all this money to all these people, and I can't afford to be sending brochures to potential buyers or paying their realtor's marketing costs. So how do we protect ourselves from just getting hosed here? Now, before I go through and talk about how you safeguard yourself, look at this from your prospect's angle. Okay, you have offered to help them for free. You have told them why you're offering to help them for free, and if they think that you've wasted their time, then you're going to do something else for them. So to them, pretty much, it's a win-win situation. Okay, the help is free, and if they don't like the help, you're actually going to do something for them. So it creates this curiosity, this intrigue. How can this realtor be so positive and so confident in their abilities? And so that actually instills confidence in them, knowing that or believing that you're so confident in your ability as to offer this type of presentation. Okay, so let's talk about how do we safeguard ourselves against time wasters and safeguard ourselves against pretty much getting hosed by having to pay everybody or benefit or offer a bribe that we're offering to people. So we could do it by saying something like this: but before we go any further, you need to know that I can't help everyone. I can only be of benefit to those people whose properties are. Here is where you're going to be listing your criteria. So if you recall in the first video that we created, where we talked about identifying your prospects, this is where that now comes into place, because you're going to be identifying your ideal prospect. So I can only be of benefit to those people whose properties are directly on the ocean. You know, if you're in Malibu and you're working on properties that are on the ocean, in good sellable condition, you're not in foreclosure, not upside down on their mortgage. So here's where you list all the criteria that the person must meet in order for you to help them. Now this takeaway actually uses a very powerful psychological trigger. Okay, once someone is interested in something, you've piqued their interest. They're now thinking to themselves, "Oh, this is a win-win situation. Sure, you know, I can." They're just beginning to talk themselves into taking you up on your offer, and then all of a sudden, wait, hold up, you know, I can't help everyone. You know, I can only help these people. Then it actually results in the seller starting to chase you. They start to qualify themselves to you. So they're saying to themselves, "Oh yes, my home is on the ocean. My home is in good sellable condition. I'm not in foreclosure. I'm not upside down on a mortgage." And the minute they start to qualify themselves to you, then that's where you're in a much stronger position, rather than you're trying to chase them and, you know, try to convince them of how great you are. So once you've done your takeaway close, then you are going to actually begin to qualify these potential leads or potential prospects. So again, another way of doing this, you could say something like, so here's what you should do next. We're going to schedule a planning session with me by simply clicking on the link below. Now this obviously assumes that you're doing it via your website. This could be a video, it could be in a PDF, you know, however form you could have them, you know, schedule a planning session by giving me a phone call, whatever method that, you know, you want to use, that's fine as well. Again, you know, you see a form with a few questions about your home and, you know, what we're looking to accomplish. Once I have that information, I'll do some market research for you and set up a time for us to go over together. Now, stop here. Once that person actually goes ahead and fills out the form, you know, fills out the form with, you know, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, you know, the price of the home, you know, when they like to move, what they're, you know, what they think the value is, what, you know, what they're hoping to get out of the home, stuff like that. Once they start to fill out that form, they are now externally qualifying themselves to you. Please, Mr. Realtor, look at my form and tell, you know, assess my form and tell me why you should, you know, spend your time taking up my marketing my property and working with me. Okay, so this is a extremely powerful method of getting listings. As we said, it has worked tremendously, and again, we hope you can implement it and use it in your process. So here's what this process actually gives you. At the end of this process, it gives you a targeted group of people who are highly responsive because they've gone through and they've filled out your qualification form. They know what you have to offer. They're asking, they've raised their hand and they're asking you for your help. They're asking for that consultation with you. They are applying to talk to you. Now again, let me repeat that. They are applying to talk to you, not the other way around. You're not going to their home and saying, you know, I'm the greatest realtor in this area. You know, I always get the best prices. I've sold this many houses. I've done this. I. No, you're not talking about yourself. They are now applying to talk to you. Again, this protects you against those time wasters. Because you have said up front what your requirements are for working with people, you can simply look at that on your form and then determine who you want to work with, and they have to meet your minimum requirements. Okay, you don't have to go and sell yourself. They have to come to you and meet your minimum requirements. Now let me just, you know, take a moment to talk about our personal approach that we use in our business. Again, our prospects go through this same irresistibility and intrigue process that I just showed to you. So if you are watching this video, chances are you went to our landing page, you saw our incentive offer, you filled out your information, you got to a page where it showed you a letter where we gave you the irresistible and intrigue, and then now you're looking at this video. So if you're not sure whether or not this works, the mere fact that you're watching this video is proof positive that this approach actually is very compelling and does actually work. So in our personal practice, we offer to tell them we offer to tell realtors how to improve their business, or we offer them $500 if they think that we have wasted their time. Incidentally, no one has ever requested the $500. Here's why. You know, when they request an appointment to talk to us, they fill out a form with some questions, you know, some basic questions. If you click on, you know, towards the end, you'll see a form, and it just has some basic questions in terms of, you know, how many sales that you did last year, what's the average price of your homes that you've sold, so on and so forth. So we actually look at that information and we then go through. So we only schedule appointments with people after we've read their answers, we've checked them out, and we've determined that we can help them. Okay, so in your case, you're going to be looking at the qualification forms that your prospective sellers are filling out, and you're going to be looking at all the information, and you're only going to be scheduling appointments with people who you know meet your minimum requirements and who you know you can help. And that's the same thing that we do in our business. Again, we practice what we preach. So again, you know, before we ever speak to anyone, we've got a general idea of what's going on and how we're going to advise them. So again, we are only talking to people who we know we can help. So when we do actually get on the phone and we do a consultation with someone, we know, or we're pretty sure that we can provide great value to that person because they meet our minimum requirements. It makes sense? So having said that, that is pretty much how the process works. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you would like to have us help you to implement things like this, if you enjoyed it and you'd like to have us help you to implement something like this in your business to potentially double, triple, or even quadruple your sales, then go ahead and click on the button below and schedule a free consultation with us. Again, really enjoyed watching the process unfold, and really enjoyed making this video. Go ahead, feel free to leave any comments below, any questions or anything like that. I know some of you may have questions or comments, but if you'd like to schedule that free consultation, go ahead and click that button below, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for watching.